Hello friends, let me take you through in this video on the salient features of Union Budget of Government of India presented by Honorable Finance Minister Shri Arun Jaitley on 1st of February 2017. This budget for 17-18 has been drawn taking a theme: transform, energize and clean India. And the Finance Minister has rightly done justice to this theme. A major transformation in presenting the budget much ahead of the year, starting of the year on the 1st of February, mixing the railway budget with the main union budget. In fact, railway budget had independently had no significant left unless the fiscal provisions are drawn from the finance budget. And to energize the country, a major allocation to the infrastructure spending, almost about 4 lakh crore. Deficit control to 3.2% of the GDP. You know, entire fiscal discipline has been planned to be achieved in this budget, keeping the revenue target to a reasonable limit of only about 6.5% higher than the revised figure of 2016-17 as compared to be 10+% which used to be earlier. But then these are more realistic numbers, and at the same time the fiscal deficit has been planned to be kept under control, along with the inflation which has also been brought down considerably now. And if you come to the current account deficit, CAD, it is going to be brought down from 0.3% to 0.1%. So a very well fiscally disciplined budget which has been presented by the Honorable Finance Minister. And clean up India, yes, no cash transactions. As against no limit for cash transactions, it has been capped to 3 lakh rupees only for one cash transaction. And the expenditure limit on cash expenditure of 20,000 has been brought down to 10,000. And the major electoral reforms, we can say, is limiting or capping the donation in cash to a political party by one person in the whole year is rupees 2,000. ATG, which is entitled for certain deductions for a donation, has been restricted to other than cash transactions. Means you have to have by check or digital transfers for donations and not the cash. So it's basically, after demonetization, a further extension to clean up India and to make Indian economy more robust. Now let's talk about the benefits of this budget to the individuals. The tax rate to an income to an individual of between 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs has been brought down from 10% to 5%. So on 10 lakh you have a benefit of 12,500 rupees. And the rebate continues to be there between 2.5 lakh to 3.5 lakh rupees, effectively making the exempted income up to 3 lakh rupees. But at the same time, to meet this shortfall, the little richer people, you know, whose income is more than 50 lakhs, salaried class people, 50 lakhs to 1 crore, a new surcharge of 10% has been brought in. And above 1 crore, the 15% surcharge which was already there continues to be there. On the income from house property, the maximum exemption or deduction can be only 2 lakh rupees, but the balance, if any, can be carried forward. One major benefit which has been given to an individual is the reduction in the period of holding from 3 years to 2 years for a long term capital gain. So the period which was 3 years now has been brought down to 2 years, and the base year, which used to be for the market price establishment, to establish the market price used to be 1981, has been brought up to 2001, giving a major benefit. For example, if you sell a property today for 5 crore rupees and the cost in 1981 was, market price was say 50 lakh rupees, but in 2001 it is say 3 crore rupees. So now the tax which you have to pay is only on that 2 crore rupees and not on 4 crore 50 lakh rupees, which is a major benefit going to come and accrue to an individual. Now extending it further, let us go to the housing. The affordable housing definition has been given very categorically clearly from 30 square meter to 60 square meter, 30 square meter in the 4 metro cities and 60 square meter in the other than these 4 metro cities, and that too on carpet area. So this is yet another benefit. Interest subvention of 4% on the loan up to 9 lakh rupees housing loan, and 3% up to housing loan 12% was already announced earlier by the Honorable Prime Minister. On the top of it, these benefits are also going to be there. Now coming to the corporates, keeping the MSME main in mind and focus, the rate of income tax has been brought down for a company whose turnover for the financial year 15-16 was less than 50 crores, 50 crores, has been brought down from 30% to 25%, which is again a major benefit. Of course, there will be certain doubts which I think will be clarified on the definition of turnover, like for a financial market intermediary like a stockbroker, whether the prop book turnover will be taken as a whole or only the profit loss figure will be taken. All those issues I think will be clarified in the time to come. But yes, if the turnover of the company as on 31st March 2016 financial year was less than 50 crore, then the tax rate has been brought down from 30% to 25% for the year 17-18. So this is for the main as a benefit to the corporate. Now taking it forward to say this Clean Up India, as I already narrated earlier, the cash transaction limit is 3 lakh rupees for one transaction. The political party donation in cash is rupees 2000 for a person in the whole year, and lot of ease of doing business has been brought in. Lot of positive changes have been done in the transfer pricing. So the anomalies have been taken away, and there is a lot of clarity on that front also. For startup companies, as the tax benefit was available for any 3 years out of 5 years, the period of 5 years has been extended to 7 years. That out of 7 years now a startup company can choose 3 years instead of 5 years. And similar benefit has been given on the MAT credit also for the period, which used to be earlier 10 years is now extended up to 15 years. So these are the major benefits to the corporates also which has been given in this budget. Talking about the long term capital gain, one major change has been brought in for the securities, saying that both way STT should have been paid at the time of acquisition, also after 2004 if it is acquired. So for example, if a share is acquired after 2004 when the STT has been introduced that time and no STT was paid, at this time of selling, though the STT is paid, still it will not be entitled for a long-term capital gain, which hitherto not used to be there. But exemptions are given to certain specified transactions. The Honorable Finance Minister has clearly said that this is only to come the sham transactions, the transaction with a wrong motive. So that is why this provision has been brought in, but otherwise not. For example, all the shares which have been allotted by way of bonus, right issues under some schemes will be exempted out of this provision, and I think some more clarification should come on this so that to avoid any kind of ambiguity later on or to give any discretion to the assessing officer. Another good provision of this budget is on presumptive taxation. So the business which has a turnover up to 2 crore rupees and the entire transaction is in the digital mode, non-cash mode, then the rate of presumptive tax has been brought down from 8% to 6%. Similarly, for the tax audit and maintenance of books under section 44AB, the limit of turnover has been increased to 2 crore rupees, and for the professionals to rupees 50 lakhs. Now let us talk about some sector specific, some few important sectors which are impacted positively by this budget provisions. Is the banking sector. You know, the public sector bank, 10,000 crore rupees have been allocated to recapitalize these banks, PSU banks, in the year 17-18. From the tax point of view, the tax on the provision for the NPAs, which used to be 7.5% restricted to 7.5% of the income, has been increased. The rate of exemption has been increased to, limit has been increased to 8.5%, which is a big benefit to the banks, because one side they used to make the provision bringing the profits down, but on the other side there was cap on this provision for income tax, so the tax liability used to be more. Now that anomaly has been reduced to a great extent by increasing the limit from 7.5% to 8.5%. Talking about the indirect tax like service tax, there has been no change, because the finance minister said that since the GST is coming, and most probably from 1st July 2017, there is no point in tinkering with service tax or excise duty or custom rates at this particular point of time. However, he has made some positive changes in the automobile which are going to be positive for the automobile industries, bringing down the rate of the excise duty on the passenger vehicles, more than 11 passenger vehicles, from I think 27% to maybe 12.5%, which has given a big boost to the automobile sector, and increasing the duty on the tobacco and tobacco products and the cigarettes. These are the two major changes. Then on the renewable energy, on the equipment and the machinery, the duties have been brought down, and for the natural petroleum gas also the duty has been brought down. So there are minor changes in the duty structure which has been done, but others are kept unchanged, because since the GST is coming and the GST rates will be applicable to all these industries, the finance minister rightly has not tinkered with too much with the indirect taxation regime. Thank you.